Hey everybody, I'm Connor, that there is Doug, and this is the Bethel School District Presents. Yes, you heard it right. We are the longest running school district podcast in the southwestern region of the Puget Sound, and we have a jam-packed show for you today.
We absolutely do. In just a little bit, Grace Latham will be joining us. Grace is the newest teacher on special assignment with our Title VI Native American Education program. Grace actually grew up in the program. She's going to talk about her experiences, how the program helps our Native students discover and celebrate their cultural identities, and she's going to share her thoughts on Native American Heritage Month, which of course is happening right now in November.
But first, hot off the presses, we do have a little bit of breaking news for y'all. Just last night, our school board approved a resolution to put our 2 levy renewals on the ballot in February. That is a massive deal, Doug.
It is, and it's such a big deal. We're going to do useless trivia after we talk about it. This upcoming levy election will be in February of next year.
So there are 2 levies that are up for renewal next year: our Educational Programs and Operations Levy, or EP&O, and our Technology Capital Levy. Both of these levies are replacements of existing measures, so they are not new taxes. That's important to remember.
That's right, and Superintendent Brian Lowney said these would be true replacement levies. What he meant by that is they will both be at the same exact tax rate that voters approved last time.
We know what our district needs, and we're not asking for more than we need because times are hard for folks. So we understand that, and so that's part of our recommendation. We're not asking for less than we need, but we're definitely not asking for more than our students need and deserve.
So the tax rates that voters approved in 2022 and the rates on the ballot this February are going to be the same. The tax rate for our EP&O levy will remain at $2.17 per $1,000 of assessed value, and the tax rate for our tech levy will remain at 31 cents per $1,000 of assessed value.
And even though we're one of the top 15 largest school districts in Washington state, there are actually 100 school districts that collect more than we do for their EP&O levies.
That's a really good point, Doug. Bethel could actually collect up to $2.50 for the EP&O levy, but like Superintendent Lowney said, for Bethel, this is about what students need and deserve.
So if you're new to levies, here's a quick breakdown of what they fund here in Bethel and where you can see them in action in your students' schools. The bulk of our EP&O levy funds hundreds of salaries for positions that the state simply underfunds or doesn't fund at all. We're talking more than 300 jobs in our district. That includes teachers, paraeducators, counselors, social workers, school nurses, campus safety officers, custodians, and bus drivers.
And let's not forget about the Pierce County deputies who work as school resource officers in our schools, as well as special education program, our multilingual program, and many early learning staff.
And the EP&O levy funds programs as well, things like arts, music, and athletic programs. That includes coaches and teachers. It also supports our 3 JROTC programs, Army, Navy, and Air Force, at our comprehensive high schools. It funds our highly capable programs, community resources, after-school activity buses. That's right, if your student rides an after-school activity bus, that is supported by the levy. And one last big one, Bethel Recreation, or Bethel Rec, which serves more than 6,000 students every year. That's also levy supported.
So, Doug, I'm sure a lot of people are listening right now and going, hey, I thought the state funded education. Why aren't they funding all these things? And for that, you will need a different podcast. We can't help you there. Yeah, that's a little above our pay grade.
Right.
What we do know is that levies are a very normal part of school funding here in Washington. Over 100 school districts will have EP&O levies on the ballot for renewal next year, including a lot of our neighboring districts.
And most other districts have technology capital levies like we do as well. Our technology capital levy funds student iPads and other classroom devices, cybersecurity, that is critical these days, data protection, upgraded Wi-Fi, communication systems, instructional software, and digital curriculum.
So, Doug, you know I'll talk your ear off about levies. I love me some levies, but we did promise our good listeners useless trivia, and we have a special guest. Let's not forget about her. But if you do want to learn more, you can always visit bethelsd.org/levy. You'll find an FAQ, information, and stories from programs and people that are levy supported, so you can make an informed decision for the February 10th election.
Well said, Connor. Well, our very special guest today is Grace Latham. Like we said earlier, Grace is our newest teacher on special assignment with the Title VI Native American Education Program. Grace, welcome to the show.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
So we have a lot to talk about, Grace, and we're going to get into that. But first, we like to do a little thing where we share some stupid trivia.
Useless trivia.
Okay, whatever. Tomato, tomato. So, Doug, why don't you start us out and show Grace how we do it?
All right. Did you know that Japan has over 200 flavors of Kit Kats? These are exclusively created for different regions, cities, and even seasons. They have some flavors like banana, blueberry cheesecake, Oreo ice cream sounds all right. And then there's some pretty questionable ones. Baked potato Kit Kats, melon and cheese flavored Kit Kats, wasabi Kit Kats, and Connor, you're going to go for this one, vegetable juice Kit Kats.
Not going to lie, I would house all of those. I don't care.
Do a little
Had me a Kit
podcast
Kat.
taste test.
Yeah.
Okay, Connor, you're up. Let's hear your useless trivia today.
Okay, well, mine is actually interactive. So I want everyone
Oh, good.
to stop the podcast.
No, listeners, do not stop the podcast.
Okay, keep the podcast running. But go to your computer.
What if they're driving? Can they do this?
Just pull over.
Okay.
Just stop where you are, wherever you are. And type into Google the word askew and hit enter and see what happens. It's so exciting.
So I'm going to Google itself.
Go to
and
Google
I'm
itself.
typing
Askew.
ASKEW. And
Look at that.
Grace, here's what it looked. The whole screen just kind of, it goes askew.
It goes askew. So you're welcome.
Thank you for that. Well, that is an interesting one. Grace, you shared your trivia with us before we actually started recording, and it is far from useless. In fact, it's actually going to get us into our conversation here. So take it away. Let's hear your piece of trivia.
Yeah, so on average, for college students who are Native American, about 60 or so % of them are first generation.
First generation, first in their family to
Yep.
go to college.
Yeah.
And you said yourself you're one of them.
Yeah, I am first generation.
That's
Yes.
amazing. What's that mean to your family?
It's a huge deal. A big part of that for me and my family was I was in the honors college at Central. I'm repping their sweatshirt today.
I was just noticing.
But that was one of the big focuses in the honors college there was supporting first generation students. 7 out of our 8 faculty in the honors college are first generation, and I got to be student staff for that and working with a lot of our students. So it was a huge deal. It meant a lot that I was the first to graduate and complete this, and so my whole family's just really proud.
Just fantastic. And we've talked on the show before about how important college or even just post-secondary something is so important for kids. A high school education is very important, and it's not really enough anymore. You need to get out there and get either a trade school or an apprenticeship or go to college or university or something like that. And it just everything that we can do to encourage kids. And I love that you are a living embodiment of encouragement for some of the Native students that you're working with.
Absolutely, Grace. And thank you so much for all you do to help support our students here. Before we get talking about our Title VI Native American education program, let's learn a little bit more about you and what brought you to Bethel. And a bigger question, what made you want to become a teacher in the first place?
Yeah, so I just graduated in June from Central Washington. I graduated with my degree in elementary education with minors in American Indian Studies and interdisciplinary arts and science honors.
Wow.
Or just from the William O. Douglas Honors College. That's easier to remember. I've always been super interested in teaching. I always worked with like the younger kids in my Native dance group growing up or day camp, and I've always just loved working with the little kids. So I knew I wanted to go into education from like 5th grade on. And then I went through Central's program, and it was kind of a crazy story, actually. I was not finding any teaching jobs just because it's so competitive right now. And my college roommate, Erica, had just gotten hired for Bethel, and she was at one of her professional learning days, and Rachel, our other Native Ed TOSA, was there doing their social studies curriculum, and they were talking about how there was a job opening for a new Native Ed TOSA, and my friend Erica was like, oh my gosh, my college roommate would be great for this. She also just graduated. They talked me up. I got in and got an interview, and I got hired, so it was just a crazy turnaround.
That's awesome. Shout
Yeah.
out to Erica. And
Yeah.
all about connections. That's super
Yes.
cool. So you said you were part of a Native dance group growing up. Talk about that a little bit and talk about the role Title VI played in your youth.
Yeah, so I'm Tsimshian. That's my main tribe. I'm also Blackfeet. So growing up, I was a part of, and I still am, Tsimshian Hayuk. It's a Tsimshian-based dance group out of Seattle, Washington.
Cool.
So every Tuesday, I would go up to Ballard. We would bring my pajamas when I was little and stay up there till 10 o'clock doing our traditional dances and songs and just being together with our family. I'm part of the Killer Whale clan, so we always dance by clan, and so I have a really close bond with everyone from High Ute. And then as a Title VI kid, I was in Enumclaw, which is a rough area to be if you're not, a part of their normal standards. And as a Native student, there's a lot of discrimination that came with that. So Title VI was a great support for me to be with other Native students and find that community. It got me involved with powwow dancing. So I started off as a jingle dress dancer for the program, and then I started doing women's fancy shawl, and then started competing in powwows. I got to plan the Native American Day Camp my junior year of high school before COVID hit, and we weren't able to continue that program, but it was a great way to just connect and have support within the school. And my mom ended up working in that program as well. So it was nice to have that connection and support there as well.
Well, thank you for sharing some of your background with us, and welcome to Team Bethel. We're thrilled to have you, and you came at a very exciting time. It is Native American Heritage Month. What does this month mean to you personally?
For me, it's super empowering to see. I remember when that switch happened and it started to become super important growing up. And it finally felt, for me, growing up as a student, as a time where we were truly seen as students. So that's something that I'm really excited that Bethel is so supportive of, is in that month, especially making sure there's a dedicated time for our students to be visible within their schools.
So for listeners who may be unfamiliar with the program, can you tell us a little bit more about what the Title VI program does here in the district?
Yeah, so we're a federally funded program that supports federally enrolled or tribal enrolled students, Native American students within the district. So Rachel Barger and I support all schools P through 12, servicing our students, coming in to support them with whatever they need. And at each level, that looks a little different. So at the elementary level, we do 3 push-ins or pull-outs a year, depending on what's going on at the elementary level. We each service 9 of those elementary schools or so. At the middle school level, we do field trips. We do middle school assemblies. We do field trips with the elementary school kids as well. And then at the high school, it's weekly support with academics, attendance. We're really focusing on college and career readiness, academics, and cultural identity for our students.
That's awesome. I love that your program is one of many in the district that is removing barriers to education for kids. And then also to see, last year I know that your team took a bunch of kids down to Nisqually and did some cool stuff down there. And I was actually over at the Tom Siegel Learning Center when they did a whole craft day and brought kids in to do all these different kind of Native crafts to learn different kind of aspects of the culture, which was really awesome.
Yeah.
So yeah, you guys do some really cool work over there.
Yes.
So you mentioned you're federally funded as a program, but there are some different funding sources available as well. You recently got a grant from the Puyallup tribe. Could you tell us, one, how much money you got and what you're going to do with that money?
We just got a grant for $10,000 from the Puyallup tribe, and all of that money is going to go towards servicing our students in different areas for the field trips and the different programs we put on.
That's really amazing, and thank you to the Puyallup tribe for that. And I understand they give out a really astonishing amount of money. It was something like $500,000
It was
already?
crazy. One of the programs there was a fire department, got $50,000. It was insane.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's really cool and super generous. Grace Latham, thank you so much for joining us on the show today. To close us out, we have a little audio here from some of your students talking about the Title VI Native American Education Program and what it means to them.
I really like doing all these field trips and things like this because you get to do it what your people did, like understand more about what they used and the resources and all the
you get to learn how it works and everything.
Yeah, how it helps.
And it kind of keeps us connected to them.
And how in the past a lot of our land was taken, people were slaughtered, tribes were killed and everything. It just helped rebuild that and everything and helped thrive. I feel more intertwined with it. I feel more connected to people. Being in places that are where things happened in history with natives and all that stuff, it just helps me feel more in contact, and it makes me feel good spiritually because it just helps me more at ease knowing that I can live some part of my life how they did, and I can put myself in places that they walk.
That audio is actually from a video produced by the Puget Sound Educational Service District about our very own Title VI Native Education Program here in Bethel. It's a great watch, and you can find it on our Facebook page.
Well, thank you again to Grace Latham for joining us today. And a reminder to everyone listening, Election Day for our 2 replacement levies is February 10th. So mark your calendars and be sure to check out bethelsd.org/levy for lots of details and information.
Thanks for listening, everyone. We'll be back with you in December with a brand new show.